I'm back. So I finally got available space on my phone, and it's 4:06 p.m. So this is me trying to continue to talk about. Wow, I might need to take these things out. My left ear is starting to hurt more and more. Ow. But I'm just hoping that the air conditioner won't turn off. So, but I mean, I remember when I was living in Los Angeles, I used to get ear infections all the time, and I thought I remember putting peroxide in my ear and letting it bubble for a whole 15 minutes, and then not all that much later, a whole lot of you know, the pus and blood and whatever weird goo would come out. And so but now people are saying either don't put peroxide in your ear at all, or that you should only have the peroxide in your ears for no more than 5 minutes. So it seems like as if I'm starting to get a little bit infection in the right ear as well. um, so I can feel the swelling in the fluid or whatever in my left ear, and I've been having the earbuds in my ear almost all day, trying to focus on writing and stuff, but my ear hurts so bad now all of a sudden. So the gang stalkers, they kept trying to force muzzle me, talking about my baptism experiences, and and so I try to do a blog post to talk about it, but I felt like I know that would be so time consuming. So that's why I prefer, to do it by video, talking in my videos. And I wanted it to be special, and I wanted it to be one full video of I wanted it to be one full video, but the perps ruined it. And I even took out I even erased all the YouTube app data off my phone, and then I tried to do another video, which lasted not even 3 minutes, and then they cut that off too. So I know that me talking about that was a threat to them. For me to talk about my past baptism experiences was a threat to them. So I'm gonna do another blog post after this. Wow, I'm actually kind of feeling a little deaf in my left ear too. So but anyway, um so the I mean I'm planning to do a part two and copy and paste the links to these 3-part videos on my blog. And so I was somewhat almost finished with telling my story about the baptism. So I didn't realize until deeper research that even the Wow Jam event seemed like a seemed like a I don't know if it seemed like if it was a counterfeit Christian event without me realizing, and because they seem more contemporary Christian rather than ancient Christian. Well, I don't want to use the word ancient, but y'all know what I mean. The early Christian church. But who's? I mean, no people are supposed to, do things the old way, but this new age fake way of doing things is what's popular. The Satan's fake new age way of doing things is popular and well liked. So I question whether or not my baptism was valid. Um, but it was a joyful experience for me. But as I was trying to say that I ended up with an ear infection later on that day because of the physically dirty water. And I apologize. I'm battling unwanted intrusive thoughts. So if you see me pause or space out in my videos, um that's me fighting unwanted thoughts. So anyway, um I was almost done telling my story. So ow. And so each time, like, I just had like a little hiccup or whatever, and it hurt my ear. So the next day, they had, the exact same event, but it was in Los Angeles instead of Pasadena. And I was baptized the day before, so I went and watched the guy. And he was also, like, I think a 17-year-old teenager. Well, he looked like he was about 17. He looked like he was about 17. And he didn't smell bad or appear to look homeless or anything. And he was the first person, and I just felt so bad that um when he got baptized, because it was like they had us get baptized in a kiddie pool. And it's like I be feeling, I admit that I sometimes feel envious and feel like, well, some people be like, well, it doesn't matter as long as you were baptized. But I feel like, well, I wish that I could have been one of those fortunate ones to get baptized in a lake or a river or the ocean or the beach or something. But the entire pool, all the water turned brown and dirty after he got baptized. And then there was some more people. And I also forgot to mention that the day I later on that night, when it was, yeah, 2014, and the night that I did get baptized, it was June 28th. So and I'm wondering, why the hell do these gang stalkers, when they rape me, a lot of the times it's the month of June. I mean, so, but anyway, um and it was June 28th, 2014, and that night, when I came home with the free groceries from the Wild Jam event, and I was kind of struggling with the bags, and I'm pretty sure I rode the Gold Line train to whatever bus, this bus, that bus, and I got off the Route 53 bus, and yeah, because the 53 bus, I guess it was closer to my house, and it was 2 blocks walk rather than taking the train. But then again, I'm supposed to, take the train and then the 115. But I think I remember I was having problems with the bus drivers on the 115 route. And so that's when I stopped taking. No, that wasn't the 53. That was the Avalon bus. I was living in Los Angeles at the time. It was, I no, it was the route 51 or 52, that one of the Avalon buses. And so, but one of the Avalon buses, um, I got off the bus and walked 2 blocks home, and there was a man who pretended to offer to, carry my bags, and I'm like, no, thanks, I'm fine. And it's like when I told him no, thanks, I'm fine, and so then he got kind of his feelings hurt and try to make it like, why is everybody in Los Angeles, always got to have an attitude. I don't remember if that was the same guy, but then I guess he manipulated me into letting my guard down. And but I said, I don't like nobody really touch my stuff, and I'm fine, And so I think I remember he was on a bike, and he followed me the 2 blocks home, and my neighbor, the former neighbor Ron, who later on turned into a gang stalker. Or by then, I think he had already become a perp, and so um, the neighbor tried to force himself. The neighbor tried to force himself. Um, I'm sorry, no. The man who followed me home tried to force himself into my gate, and just in time, the neighbor, Mr. Ron, had came outside and caught him in the act. And I was trying to resist and, tell him, no, I'm fine, leave me alone. And so the neighbor, Mr. Ron, coming outside helped prevent me from being raped again that night. So this is the second time that, but this time it was prevented. But I remember it was Friday, June 22nd, 2000. I mean, yeah, wait, 2012, that I, in my heart, accepted Jesus Christ, but didn't do it openly, and started to believe Christianity was true. And then for whatever reason, I was sleep deprived that day, and then the next morning, I went to the beach, and I was at the beach all day. And then later on that evening was when the Freemason guy raped me. So, I'm gonna put y'all names out there. Derwin O's, yeah, the Freemason perp. I call him Stank Derwina. And that's that one, and the most recent rape were the rapes that, and the rape with the Giovanni guy had, all three of those guys had, those were the rapes that bothered me the most, that I still cannot get over, more than the other past rapes that I've been through, but I'm usually a loner. I stick to myself. I don't try to make friends. And I didn't realize that a lot of female targeted individuals are raped and human trafficked. I didn't know that. So the Derwin guy, he didn't want me to catch on to know that, I saw his Masonic ring. And then he tried to downplay it and say, we see God, we see the light and stuff like that. No, y'all see the Luciferian fake satanic light. That's what y'all see. And you falsely view yourself as God. So, I think it was probably the day after I got baptized, and then probably, I don't know if it was the day after. It probably was the day after. And I was telling my other next door neighbor, Miss Patricia Horton, who her name was, Miss Pat, and she was a narcissistic perp neighbor as well. She was a perp and fake Christian, and a narcissistic abuser. and act like she thought that she had authority and control over me. And you know, she tried to claim that she didn't like being treated like a child because of being disabled. But here she treated me like I was mentally slow, and she had an issue with me. But when I got raped by the Freemason guy, I mean, she was nice and normal, and then, quiet and stayed to herself. And then, I remember when I went to that Glory Church of Jesus Christ in on Washington Boulevard in Los Angeles, downtown LA. And then I came home with a whole bunch of fruit and produce and stuff from that church. Um, that's the church that turns away non-members and turn away the homeless and treat people rude and stuff. But anyway, she reminded me so much of the fake foster mom. She said, "Oh, okay, wow, thank you for the strawberries." So so then we didn't talk much, and then afterwards she started to. I didn't realize she was also a perp, and a narcissistic perp, and very controlling. I mean, she waited until after I was raped by the Freemason guy to wait, no, after I got raped by the Freemason guy, I think that she avoided talking to me for a whole year. And then after that, I mean, she was bitter and mad at me because the police came and interrogated her or asked her whatever questions, and asking all the neighbors questions, and they didn't know about it. But the police invaded my privacy. You know, they didn't have. I mean, they weren't. I mean, they didn't have. That was unnecessary for them to go and ask my neighbors. You want to know about my rape? You ask me. My neighbors don't freaking know. So, my neighbors freaking turned against me, every single one of them. And Miss Pat, she started to be an abusive, controlling bully, and thought that she had authority over me, and thought she had more authority over me than the landlord when she was just a freaking neighbor. And she was entering in and out of my gate and vandalizing and doing strange stuff to my house and stuff too, you know. But all that time, I did not realize that I was being gang stalked, and I talked before, and Dinesha Scott, who's another targeted individual, talked about how the gang stalkers put smushed dead birds right on your doorstep and stuff, and I said that sounds like something people involved in witchcraft would do. So, so then, like the day after the baptism, I think it was, I told Miss Pat about, how I got baptized, and when I told her about Linda Tavani and her husband, Stephen Tavani, and she was like, "Oh, she done got saved, huh? Oh, all right." Sounded just identical to the foster mom Ann. She acts like a mixture of the foster mom Ann and the biological gay brother Mark. So so then that's when she was the one who told me about Peaches and Herb and the song Reunited and stuff like that. So that song's been out since before I was born. And so when I told her about the me catching an ear infection from the dirty water, she was like, "You didn't got baptized, huh?" Try to frighten and intimidate me. So I almost forgot about that part with me carrying heavy bags home, and the guy on the bike attempted to rape me, and my neighbor, Mr. Ron, stepped outside, and then the guy ran off. So that was God protecting me right there. But that would have been even more traumatic for me to get raped. I mean, even more traumatic for me to get raped. The same night of me being baptized. And when like, it was 2012 when I accepted Jesus Christ, and I thought we had to do it publicly, but I didn't know at the time that you don't need to go in front of the pulpit or in front of anybody. That, if you want to be a Christian and be saved, you know, of course, find a way to get a King James version of the Bible. And with the internet, people have their phones, so you can read it on your phone, or if they have apps and stuff as well. And they say you can just accept Jesus Christ into your heart in the comfort and the privacy of your own home or wherever you're at. Even if you're in a grocery store, you can, if that thought comes into your heart or mind to accept Jesus Christ, you don't need anybody's approval. You just start believing and start reading the scriptures and pray and read the Bible. I'm still trying to develop the strength to fast. I mean, after dealing with years of spiritual abuse, and I know I have to do it, but I feel like it's harder on the streets than in person. I mean, when I have a roof over my head. So I know I need to work on fasting, but I've been trying to practice by eating 2 meals a day, trying to prepare myself. So that's my baptism experience story. I thought I was almost finished, but then I forgot about the details about the other guy who, and I didn't even know his name, the random guy on a bike that attempted to rape me. So I'm gonna continue with more writing and blogging and working on short stories. And I got to do something with my both ear. Well, the right ear is seeming like as if it's just beginning, but the left ear feels like it's about to burst or explode or something. And I heard scary stories about, a scary story about somebody saying that you can also die from an ear infection as well. So I'm gonna keep trying whatever remedies. I thought that the detox bath would have helped, but it didn't. So I'll see y'all later on.